seen. We've seen a lot of games of management, trying to manage waves, trying to manage turrets. This one was a lot more about the fighting. Which
You are the roamer. Pick your hero. It's our turn to pick heroes. It's our turn to pick heroes. Seconds left.
Bien Poe.
Welcome to Honor of Kings! Huling makali sa base 5 series, nandiyan na yung mga minions! Let's get it on! Huling makali sa base pangit!
If you think you can take me, why don't you come here and try? Make sure you get hide. Just storm in, you say? Ha! That's music to my ear!
Easy kill!
I'm
Bawi na lang, pre!
Let's cut the
May
top.
namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
A strong heart makes you immortal.
Copy that.
Kalma niyo lang, pre! Patay ka!
Why don't I show you how old I still am? sure you get enough iron. Just storming, you say? Ah, that's music to my ears!
Enemy missing. Enemy
I
missing.
correct every failure 10 times over.
Sama-sama na mga pre! Gawin na lang pre!
Plans for some big hit. Count me in!
Sama-sama na mga pre! Sama-sama na mga pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Possible tower shield! Catapult! Knockout! Andiyan ang overlord at tyrant mga pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Killing spree pa nga! Double kill! Amazing! Double kill! Unbelievable! Sama-sama na mga pre! Sama-sama na mga pre!
Why don't I show you how old I still am?
Na! Shutdown ka pre!
Scars are the mark of a true warrior!
May namatay sa kalaban! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Bakit kalmahan niyo lang, pre?
Copy that.
Strong heart makes you immortal!
Enemy missing.
Count me in!
Shutdown ka, pre! Double kill siya! Sama-sama na mga pre! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Laka! Nasira to rin natin! Laka! Nasira to rin natin!
I correct every failure 10 times
Laka! Nasira to rin natin! Killing spree pa nga! Double kill!
Unbelievable.
May namatay sa kalaban! Wapre! Wapre!
If you think you can take me, why don't you come here and try?
Retreat.
Fire!
Pumasok tayo ng turret, mga pre! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre!
Skill not
Sama
ready.
naman, pre!
Count me in!
Sama naman, pre! May nawaway sa laban! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Killing spree pa nga! Kaya pa, nasira to rin natin!
Cutting!
Sinusugod na idol natin!
A strong heart makes you immortal!
Kaya pa, nasira to rin natin! Shotgun, pre! Sama-sama naman, pre! Ay, rampage na siya? Nakatubol kill siya! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Ilas na overload at Titan! Ganon! Smoking out!
Why don't I show you how old I still am?
Nakabasag tayo ng turret, mga pre!
Some big hit!
Bawi na lang, pre! Nakatubol kill siya! Sinusugod na idol natin! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Kaya pa, nasira to rin natin! Ang sakit! Legendary na siya! Shotgun, pre! Ang ganda naman! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Ubos! Agoy! Natalo!
turn to pick heroes. Pick your hero.
Quay is a support hero who can really mess up your day with his chained hook. By using skill 2 followed up by his ult and skill 1, he can make short work of unsuspecting enemies. He's even dangerous in death, as he explodes 3 seconds after he's defeated.
Welcome to Honor of Kings! Mga pre, akin 5 seconds, nandiyan na yung mga minions! Let's get it on! Batak na ako masyado para dito?
You guys just chill. I've got this.
Between battles, I search for lost souls. Chaos and destruction are the only constants.
Yes! First blood!
Sweet.
Kalmahan niyo lang, pre!
You shall go to hell, where you belong.
May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Easy kill! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Easy kill! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
Between battles, I search for lost souls. I desire nothing. I have a special place in my heart for evildoers.
Shutdown the play!
Between battles, I search for lost souls.
Andiyan na overlord at tyrant mga pre! Pasok ang tower shield! Tapos, move out! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
Chaos and destruction are the only constants. I have a special place in my heart for evildoers.
Shutdown the play! Nakakwadra pa nga! Ubos! Sama-sama na mga pre! Tayo ng turret mga pre! Sama-sama na mga pre!
Between battles, I search for lost souls.
Sama-sama na mga pre! Basag tayo ng turret mga pre! Sama-sama na mga pre! Sama-sama na mga pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Double kill!
I have a special place in my heart for evildoers.
Hello, pre! It is free! Rampage! Ang ganda naman! Ay! Flak kayo, pre! Ay! Flak kayo, pre! Nakabasag tayo ng turret, mga pre!
Between battles, I search for lost souls. You shall go to hell, where you belong.
Nakabasag tayo ng turret, mga pre! Unstoppable na yan, pre!
You shall go to hell, where you belong. Chaos and destruction are the only constants.
May namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
You shall go to hell, where
It is now overloaded, Lieutenant! Cannons! Moving out! Tayo daw po ulit pumapri! Namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Ay! Rapri!
Everyone, attack the tyrant!
Killing spree pa nga! Sama-sama na mapri! Shut down the pit! Rapri!
I desire nothing.
May namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
Amazing! Unbelievable! Amazing!
Ubus!
You shall go to hell, where you belong.
Nakabasag tayo ng turret pala, pre! Nakabasag tayo ng turret pala, pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Kalmahan niyo lang, pre! Ubus! Shut down the pit! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Rampage!
to ban. It's our turn to pick heroes. Pick your hero. It's our turn to pick heroes.
Quay is a support hero who can really mess up your day with his chained hook. By using
Welcome to Honor of Kings! Mga pre, in 5 seconds, nandiyan na yung mga minions! Kulat ka, no? Let's get it on!
Before dawn, call me the manager of the Midnight Playground.
Enemy missing. Good stuff. Great. Appreciate it.
There's so much more magic during the night. Imperfections only make you more. Who wants to be the first ragdoll on my hook today?
Kalmahan niyo lang, pre!
Before dawn, call me the manager of the Midnight Playground. Who wants to be the first ragdoll on my hook today?
Sama-sama na mga pre!
The freedom of toys is built on rules.
Kalmahan niyo lang, pre!
Is that it?
Imperfections only make you more unique.
Andiyan na overlord at tyrant mga pre! Basag ang tower shield! Catapults! Move up!
Before dawn, call me the manager of the Midnight Playground.
Nakabasag tayo ng turret mga pre!
The freedom of toys is built on
Sama-sama na mga pre! Free pa nga!
Before dawn, call me the manager of the Midnight Playground. There's so much more magic during the night.
Ayak ka! Nasira ko rin natin! Pre, pre! Unstoppable na yan, pre!
Is built
Ayak ka! Nasira to rin natin! Manilagay sa kalaban! Yes! Nakabasag tayo ng turret mga pre!
more magic during the night.
Sana all, tuksadlay! Nakabasag tayo ng turret mga pre! Ay! Rampage na siya? Rampage na siya! Ay! Bakit na, pre? Ala! Triple kill na! Nakabasag tayo ng turret mga pre! Shutdown ka, pre!
Souls, hear me.
Imperfections only make you more unique.
Legendary na siya!
Assemble at the marker.
During the night.
Unbelievable!
Who wants to be the first ragdoll on my boat today?
Sugod na mga pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Shutdown ka pre! Kalmahan niyo lang pre! Bawi na lang pre! Triple kill! Ang ganda naman! Nakabasag tayo ng turret pag napalawin, pre! Nakabasag tayo ng turret pag napalawin!
Everyone, attack the Overlord! Everyone, attack the Overlord! Copy that!
Sugod na mga pre! Double kill siya!
Overlord is about to respawn.
Who wants to be the first ragdoll on my hook today?
Sama-sama na Mopri! Sama-sama na Mopri! Sama-sama na Mopri! Kalmahin lang, Pri!
our turn to pick heroes. Pick your hero.
Lian Po is a tank that becomes immune to control effects when he uses his skills. He can initiate a team fight and keep his enemies close by using his ult, followed up by skill 1, skill 2, and skill 1 again. He's not afraid of taking damage. In fact, he gains attack speed as his health drops. Skill 1 lets him charge forward and launch enemies, while skill 2 gives him a shield, deals damage to nearby enemies, and refreshes skill 1. For his ultimate, he slams the ground 3 times. He can use skill 1 in between slams, and the third slam launches nearby enemies. Learn skill 2 at the beginning, then prioritize upgrading the ultimate, or skill 1 if the ultimate is not available.
Welcome to Honor of Kings! Uling makali sa may seconds, nandiyan na yung mga minions! Let's get it on!
Some big hit? Count me in. If you think you can take me, why don't you come here and try? Why don't I show you how old I still am? A strong heart makes you immortal. Protect what I care. Let's cut the talk and start the cutting! Plans for something. Count me in!
May namatay sa kalaban! Yes!
Strong heart,
May namatay sa kalaban! Yes! Andiyan na Warlord at Tropaaa! Pasok ang tower shield! Catapult! Move out!
just storming, you say? Ha! That's music to my ears! Why don't I show you how old I still am?
Sama-sama na mga pre!
I correct every failure 10 times over.
Sama na mga pre!
Plans for some big hit? Count me in.
It's begin.
Right!
Kalma kayo lang, pre!
Getting up fire!
Bawi na lang, pre! Kalma kayo lang, pre!
If you think you can take me, why don't you come here and try? Old? I don't even know what that means. Crush them!
Bawi na lang, pre! Naka! Nasira to rin natin! Naka!
Storming, you say? Ha! That's music to my ears! A strong heart makes you immortal.
Games free pa mo! Sabo na mga pre! Kaya ka! Nasira to yung natin! Games free pa mo! Tutol kayo siya! Kalmahin lang pre! Ang sarap pa na yun! Uga! Kaya ka! Nasira to yung natin! Pista natin! Kalmahin lang, pre! Ubos! Pinaparating na ang pista natin! Agoy! Natalo! You are the roamer. Pick a hero to ban. It's our turn to pick heroes. It's our turn to pick heroes. Pick your hero. Welcome to Honor of Kings! Lock and loaded na. Mga pre, in 5 seconds, nandiyan na yung mga minions. Let's get it out! Even the best goalkeeper can be thrown off balance by a rolling pass. First blood! No one is born to lose. You and I are like a dream that meets another dream. Kalma niyo lang, pre! The voice that cheers for you will not stop, whether you win or lose. Kalma niyo lang, pre! May namatay sa kalaban! Yeah! Kalma niyo lang, pre! Even the best goalkeeper can be thrown off balance by a rolling pass. Easy kill! Double kill! Amazing! Ayan ang overlord at pera mo, unbelievable!
Appreciate it.
What's up ang tower shield? Catapult! Wow! That means another dream! The voice that cheers for you will not stop, whether you win or lose. whether you win or lose. Tiyak ka! Nasira to rin natin!
Enemy missing.
Shotgun the pre! Nakabasag tayo ng turret, mga pre! Ay! Rapri! Rapri!
game, Danny is playing the Mankey, which is a little furball, but he's tank ball. You can't really melt down Danny.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love the Mankey hero. I think it's definitely the cutest hero that's available in the game. You have a lot of potential with that. And all he needs to do is just stay up front, making sure that CR7, Fury, are the damage dealers in the backline are able to just kind of attack people from afar untouched.
Okay, so while that is a tanky hero, I feel like Alpha 7, if Nyap does not hit his mark, he's not able to access the backline or loop, it's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah, a tough one. I mean, the Annihilation's going to be used, kind of just zoning them away. Loops is kind of being pushed, pushing them across. But Fury, right now, it's all about just, you know, wave clear. Clearing out, making sure that, one, it doesn't make any sort of rotation, because he can potentially jump the backline with his own emergence.
Look, this game, both teams are taking a huge risk, because both Fury on the guard and Mo, as well as one on the Nuwa, they need farm. So they can't really share too much gold in between the different roles in this game. So a huge gold advantage is going to benefit one of these teams really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very early. I don't think we're going to see a huge jump. Both of these teams, again, just very familiar with one another. Nothing is going to be given away. You're not going to see too many mistakes, especially early. Getting that first blood will be key, but it's not game-ending.
Yeah, and for now, I think Alpha 7, they're doing a good job in the farm lane. They managed to get a few licks in on that T1. And I think this is a very important marker because turrets also give you a lot of gold.
Yeah, that was an interesting rotation there. Fury just, I thought the farm was going to be funneled into Danny, but then you saw that CR7 had made an appearance. Everything looks to be just funneling that farm and that net worth into CR7 because he is going to be your late game carry that will win you the game.
Yeah, and right now, Loops, they have different ideas. They want to put a little bit more pressure on the Clad lane instead.
Yeah, Flaming Palm is going to be dodged by the Unending Sorrow. One makes an appearance, gets sliced and diced with that couple blades, but he's going to just back off at this point. Again, a feel-out process with 20 seconds, though, with that first turret going to be key.
Okay, so they're going to try and steal it. So Danny, for the first time, game number 3, a little bit more aggressive, right? He's going to try and enter into the jungle, put a little bit more pressure on that top T1. And Loops, they're trying to manage the waves, which we talked about. T1 is so important in the mid. We need the extra vision, we need the control, and we want to be able to catch them out. But
Monofrizer has to flash away. Here's the emergence. They want the return. CR7 getting super aggressive, gets the pick off. He gets on his dragon. It looks like he's going to get on out of this one scot-free.
Okay, and this is where potentially a gap can be started by the side of Alpha 7. They've gotten their first blood. Can they take more?
Yeah, I mean, look, this would be huge for them. They're going to take the Tyrant, and that's going to expand on this lead. It's going to help them out. Alpha 7 doing a great job, especially off of that, you know, Infinite Bastards. Now it's back on cooldown, especially since you have that Dolia, so you have that get out of jail Fury card.
And this benefits their lineup and drop so well because Alpha 7, with the extra damage that they have gotten from this Tyrant buff, they're able to deal more damage. They have a lot more fighting potential, and their lineup is drafted for big fights.
Yeah, I mean, look, the potential for that big fight is going to be there, but Loops right now, again, just got to slow the game down, right? Understand that we haven't lost anything at this point. We are fine. We have freaks. He's going to be doing just dandy in that top lane. One will do his thing. I mean, it's all about getting Vento involved.
Yeah, but they just have to be really careful. They need eyes on Fury as well as CR7 because if you allow that double ultimate coming out from Fury, oh, you are not going to survive.
Yeah, look, the potential. I mean, that craziness could be there. And I love the fact that this Valau Dolia pick, the value could be there. They've got the Dream Roam, the flash away by Vento, and now here comes the return. The Furball not going to connect on the Fury, and Danny's still up in front. ABH just kind of, you know, they're going to pick each other off from afar, but at the end of the day, I think that they're both very tanky. They should be fine.
Okay, I love this, right? They're trying to force out all the common spells from both sides.
Yeah. I mean, you want to force it out. I mean, nobody's really picked up too much at this point, but Alpha 7 being aggressive, looking to invade, taking what is not really theirs.
Yeah, this is the sure fight here, and it could be big.
Yeah, it could be big here. Those blades are going to start to hit. ABH taking a lot, but I believe ABH does pick it up with a smite, but Freaks flashing away, gets back to safety. ABH has got those shields. He will stay alive, but with that Annihilation, it's a going away present for Alpha 7.
This game really showcases how well both teams know each other. Look, nobody has died just yet in that previous engagement, and I think they're looking for those moments, and I feel like we will only have like 1 or 2 big moments, but they will be super explosive for either of these teams.
I mean, it's all about those team fights, right? Getting that potential, but it's about putting the pressure on, stealing what, you know, being aggressive. I want to see more map control, but Alpha 7 right now, with a little bit of a lead, they need to be aggressive. Again, it all starts with that mid T1, though.
Yeah, true. They've taken T1 on the bottom side, which is great for the side of Alpha 7. This is where their goal lead actually comes from. But, you know, the balance of goal, if we take a look at the players individually, 3.8 for the side of Fury, 3.9 for the side of 1. They both offer decent burst damage, and I think they will be the game changers in the starting parts of this fight.
Yeah, and look at this, CR7 just getting that space. Danny just getting dream roams on out of there. And Loops right now not able to kind of get that catch. They'll deal with the minion wave, and they'll just kind of play the long game in that sense. But the top lane is pushing, and now Loops is again on the defensive.
Okay, but they are poking comp, right? So they don't mind throwing a couple of hits every now and then. As long as they don't get caught out in a melee range by the side of Alpha 7, they're good.
Looks like Freaks is going to eat a Flaming Palm. The Infinite Vast is on out of this one, and he will stay alive. But Alpha 7, they just get on out of there. They don't, I think they're going to not contest on this Azure Golem, and Loops not able to get any sort of catch.
Yeah, they keep trying for this, right? Which is once the Azure buff is up, they keep trying to go and force a fight. But it's not working out for Alpha 7. I feel like they might be punished for this.
Yeah, look, nothing is really happening at this stage. I mean, the fact that like Alpha 7 are disengaging at the right moments, every time Loops tries to potentially start team fights, Alpha 7 are like, actually, we don't want to do this. They're feigning pressure in lanes.
Okay, but there is one bleeding possibility for the side of Loops. They're not really handling the waves that well. Look, there is a T1 taken down for the top as well. And I think this might hurt them closer towards the 10-minute mark. There is a lot of vision lost.
Yeah, it's almost like been a perfect game for Alpha 7, right? Not really taking too much pressure. And ABH with that wild growth can put it on at a moment's notice, right? But Alpha 7, again, with Fury, that wave clear is just really on point.
Okay, and Fury has now gotten his hands on the Savant's Wrath, one of the strongest magical items in the game. So there is big burst potential coming out from Fury.
Look at Tyrant picked up here, and look, Niap was potentially going to teleport in if they needed to, but he's going to stay in that top lane and continue to split push.
Freaks.
And it looks like they've got the pick off. Here's the emergence, and right on top of this, the infinite vastness, and he might have gone a little too early in that sense, because I don't think one really could have dealt with both of them, but with the reinforcements on the way, it looks like it was the right call.
Okay, so Alpha 7, the decent lead so far. It's a 2,000 goal lead. At the same time, Niap has been left untouched this entire game. Look at every movement he makes. T2 under pressure now.
Oh, he's going to go for the tri-slash play. He tried to get the burst onto Vento. The Annihilation had been expended as well. They find the furball, and they want to make him pay, but this is just space created. Look at the bottom T2 taken down. CR7 just mowing them down.
Oh, this is Mindworks telepathy for the side of Alpha 7. And once again, CR7.
Yeah, I mean, CR7, no real risk. You had the Bilal, Celestial Melody on top of that. They had that Dragon. He gets on out of there. He's safe, right? CR7 playing it perfectly.
Yeah, Alpha 7, I like the understanding of this game. Look, they keep trying to force Loops to fight. Loops says no. And so they say, okay, you know what? We wouldn't do the double automatic for Fury. We'll just do it for CR7. He's going to pressure the turrets.
Yeah, and look at this. The fact that Loops are like, okay, we need to change things up. We need to go for the steal ourselves. But here's the Dream Roll. Tries to find ABH. He's going to just sidestep most of this. Danny's still up in front with that mass. Niap getting a little bit low. Needs to be careful. They want to run. And Niap just barely able to get picked off. One finds him out. Gets that major kill.
Yeah, Vento down is a big loss for the side of Loops. Not only does he lose that goal lead or that goal efficiency, it is a big win for the side of Alpha 7 because now the map is pretty much open.
Yeah, look, it's a 1-for-1, but the damage that you really need from Vento is going to be a problem. And Danny finds one, not letting him go. One gets picked off, and Danny gobbles him up.
Yeah, and this is a short but explosive growth from the side of Alpha 7. T1 in the mid under pressure.
Yeah, they're going to take this down. Loops, all they can do is watch. They have not been able to respond in kind. They haven't taken a single tower. 10-minute mark, Shadow Tyrant underway for Alpha 7.
Okay, and this is the 10-minute mark. Shadow versions here. Shadow Tyrant will be calmly, safely in the hands on the side of Alpha 7.
Easy. This is how you want to control the map. You're in the driver's seat. This is the way you play things out. You take what's yours, right? And now you can be aggressive. Loops have not been able to find a way to chip into this armor. That is the Alpha 7 offense.
Okay, so the basic version of it, you get that extra damage and lightning charges as well. But the 10-minute mark, the enhanced version, gives you even more. So right now, Alpha 7, if a fight were to break out, they will gladly oblige every single time.
Yeah, and look at the fact that Danny right now, with the most damage taken, 48,000, living up to his name of just being that tank jungler, that frontliner that you really need. Loops has just done a lot of damage to him, but they haven't been able to pick him off. And I mean, look, just doing a great job in that regard.
Okay, so right now, a lot of three-pronged pressure coming in from Alpha 7. Same question persists as game number 1. You have a good lead. Can you hang on to it? Can you press them down and keep them there?
Yeah, and Alpha 7 should just really not leave the enemy jungle. They should just stay up in front, poke and prod, take things away, and CR7 gets the pick off. We talked about this Loon being that potential way of just getting in and then Infinite Vastus on out of this, and he's made him pay, gets that pick off. Really well played by CR7, and it looks like that Crimson Golem picked up by Vento there.
Yep, okay, it's a consolation prize. Yes, it goes to the Vento, but he's not able to do too much damage. Hang on, Danny.
Danny, he gets walked down upon Vento, finds the pick off, and that is one way to deal with a tank, just multiple arrows in the back.
All right, Vento just wants to prove me wrong, but at this point, 4,000 gold ahead, Alpha 7 a convincing lead so far.
Yeah, convincing lead, but you know, Loop's finding ways. That was a huge win. This is a window of opportunity. One is back up if they want to go for this. Vento is starting to do some serious damage. The Infinite Vastus is keeping him alive, and Vento, like a machine gun, is starting to do some serious damage.
Yep, and adding on with that, oh, that was so close. CR7, my heart was pumping in that one.
Yeah, just barely dodged it. Couldn't hit him with a throot from afar.
Okay, so looks like all of that thing, all of the advantage, now it's swinging back to the favor of Loops. Yes, they haven't gotten that gold gap cut down just yet, but Shadow Overlord.
Yeah, but look, they're being aggressive. This is going to turn into towers, which is going to be hard-earned gold, right? Things will shift, especially since they haven't taken the outer turrets yet. This could be a potential opportunity for Loops to get back in this game.
Yep, we want to believe, the Loops fans want to believe they can come back from this. Alpha 7, they do not want history to repeat itself.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're Alpha 7, you got to be a little worried, right? Like, you're giving opportunities to get back in. It seems like they're playing a little bit of a losing game as they're kind of playing timid. They're staying on their side of the river. They don't want to be too aggressive. I mean, now it looks like they're going to be going for this Crimson, and that would be a great steal, but look at how Loops have kind of wrapped around.
Yep, and they summoned that Shadow Overlord on the top side as well. That's one wave of minions gone, which means Loops now has access to the bottom side of the map, and whoever is going to show up might be taken out instantly.
Yeah, but look, top T2 taken out. Loops are just looking to take the bottom T2 now. The Vanguards will push to make things a little bit more difficult for Alpha 7 to continue on with this assault. Vento, very low, but he gets on out.
Up the call, they're rotating in.
Oh, look at this. They're going to run into Freaks. He's going to be the first one. Spots it out. It looks like it's going to be an ambush. Tries to go for the furball play. The Flaming Palm onto ABH, who's at half-life. Bilal is actually running on the wrong side. CR7, he's probably going to get out, but they find one. Vento now get focused in. Gets Flaming Palm to the face. CR7 finds him. Goes with the Infinite Vastus. He's going to be aggressive. CR7 not scared because he has that Celestial Melody.
Yeah, this is a big moment for the side of Alpha 7. They take the T3 at the bottom. That's an open gaping wound on the bottom side. And Loops, yes, the hope is there, but it's going to be even tougher right now.
Yeah, but with no minions, that's going to stymie the assault at this point. But Alpha 7 found what they wanted. Of course, getting that pick off, the bottom T3 going down. This is a huge opportunity for Alpha 7 to close it out as they go for another Shadow Siren here.
Yep, now with the extra damage as well, this is a big moment. They will be looking for big team fights. They have the numbers advantage as well for about 4 seconds, but nonetheless, with the extra buffs, the Tyrant buff, they should be able to end the game. Loops have to be really careful where they're walking.
Yeah, need to be careful, and this is something that's very different from game 1. You see how aggressive and how far forward Alpha 7 are, putting pressure on. Loops right now are literally fighting for scraps. They don't have much. Danny taking a lot. CR7 touches with a jump in, gets the Flaming Palm on the Mono Frizer. They're going to be backing off. The Annihilation will connect on the 2.
They have no answers for CR7 at all. This guy, he is just coming in, getting the Flaming Palms, that triple red streak hit. That is what is killing everyone on the side of Loops.
But, like, how do you lock him down? I mean, it's one thing to have one Infinite Vastus. Yeah, it might be a cooldown, but then you have the Celestial Melody, so you have a secondary one. He's been almost so elusive, so difficult to just lock down, and Loops don't really have an answer for him.
Exactly. And I think one of the only ways is maybe you can force out that Infinite Vastus, that dragon form, after giving him a huge burst damage amount, which can come in the form of 1, right, with the creations, the first skill. But I don't think they will be able to get CR7 that easily.
Yeah, I mean, if anything right now, Loops need to just work on that bottom lane, give themselves a little bit of space, look to split push, slow the game down. Like it worked in game 1 where they're able to just kind of slow it down. But Vento gets picked off. The Reforged Blades gets the insta-kill.
Yep, this one is a painful one, and Loops now back backs against the wall. They missed the annihilation as well.
Yeah, no chance. Furball going forward. Mountain Fries are still up in front, but there's really not much. They're poking and prodding, just trying to slow with this. But the minion wave has already been crashing in. They're finding Freaks, who has to dash away the second time. They've taken the top T3. Now they want the middle one. They're going to take that one for free. The base is wide open. The Crystal is the only one standing. ABH very low at this stage. And CR7 gets the pick off, and yet another Dragon, keeping him alive. He's going to be very on the outskirts of this one. Gets Mountain Fries, and it looks like Alpha 7 have taken this, and they win game 3.
What a way to win this one. CR7, we talked about the synergy issues. This Loom was just all over the place, and that's a good thing.
I mean, look at this one. Look at the fact that we had some questions. CR7 was able to kind of compete, was able to get in. They have the Cristiano Ronaldo handshake and the shoe.
Yeah, this one, a big victory. I mean, we talked about the synergy, and this guy showed up. How many times is he going to show up in KWC? That's a big question. I mean, a lot of expectations coming in from the boys of Brazil. And HOK BR, they have impressed us with stands and picks. Very important because it allows you so many options to explore. And I think DMT have given so little options to the side of Team Vitality at this point.
DMT right now just going with most of the meta right now, just going with most of the T0 heroes, not caring about this being a best of 3, just thinking about, like, let's just toss everything we have just over here in game 1. Let's take the dub, and then after that, let's go and see what happens in game 2.
Yeah, I think that's the right play. You know, best of 3, you put anything. It doesn't really matter. Like, just go with everything that you're best on, just because you have to win.
Exactly.
Literally, you could just play 4 games. If you lost them all, you'd be out of the KWC.
Done. So they need to be thinking about it. There's not that many thinking that you need to be doing right now. They open the door. Team Vitality opened the door with the bans and the picks. They allowed them just to take their hands on the Arlie and the Mai Shiranui very early in the bans and in the BP. That might have sealed their destiny.
Exactly. I think, you know, most of the times on broadcast, we like to tell our audiences, look, professional games, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But this one, best of 3, is a sprint. Guys, run fast and go for your target.
And the 100-meter race is going to start right now. On the left side of your screen is going to be Team Vitality on the blue. On the right side is going to be DMT on the red. This is going to be our game 1 of this match, number 2.
All right, this is going to be a super key one going in. I like the fact that you called it a bit of a sprint. You know, to be honest, if I was in one of these situations, I'm not looking to sprint. I'm looking to just get on my bike and just cheat through the system and do whatever I can because I need that edge, especially in game 1.
I feel like that's called cheating.
Oh,
but
only if you get caught.
yeah, and people can't catch you on a motorcycle. All right, I get a point.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to start this one off, again, being very aggressive. This is what we wanted. I mean, Jurl and Guyu are like, not even just like helping out with TNX. They're taking what they want because they have that potential. Like, Jurl on the Mai can make some serious waves in the early game.
And I like this, right? Because the pacing is so fast from DMT. Not only do they, you know, kind of stifle the farm of tops in this match lane, they also secure their first space point of the game for themselves. And look, straight away, the gold gap might not be that big, but the EXP and damage potential from DMT is going to be shown really soon.
Yeah, I mean, the damage, like, that potential is going to be really on point, especially when you have him on this Arlie, who's just been really next level with this hero. I think he's going to have a great time, especially since they're solo. They don't need to force any issues, and this is going to be the power of the Dominator lineup, right? Not only do you have Jurl, who's able to be very mobile between the different lanes, and with that potential catch, but then you have L backing him up. A couple of Cannon Blasts could really turn the tides of this fight.
Look at what they did. They're able to check all the different spots of danger just with one skill. And this is the strength of DMT's draft in the early game.
Yeah, why check it with Cannon Blast when you could just face check? That's what I do.
Yeah, and then you pay with your life, right?
Yeah. More time than I pay.
But in any case, now they realize, hey, you can't be everywhere across the map. They managed to put some pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, the flash away from L, Cannon Blasting for their troubles, uninvited guests, so to speak. But look, Team Vitality, their biggest thing is on this Zonkape. They need to get him going. They need to be aggressive. They need to be taking, you know, whatever they can away from TNX.
But if there's anyone you want to play an aggressive jungler, it has to be Zancute, right? This is his specialty. He is very aggressive, but also very clinical with its finishes.
Yeah. I mean, but again, if it comes back to that lane matchup, right? If we're seeing just like, Zonk not able to, keep on pace with TNX, you're going to have a tough time. And, Team Vitality needs to do everything to ensure that he has that proper support.
Yeah, timing is of the essence, right? We definitely need to have a quick pace of the game because both drafts are a very aggressive early game draft. As the later the game goes, some heroes kind of fall off in terms of like the viability because they will be caught out easier.
Yeah, and look at this. Jurl already looking to make a rotation into the bottom lane. Zan potentially getting gone on. They're going to kind of, soften him up a little bit by diving under that tower, but Zan just staying alive. I think 19, he needs to be not exactly babysitting someone, but just providing that vision so that nobody really gets caught off guard by some of these ambushes.
Yes, he needs to be able to give information to the team, right? They need information to make good decisions, and this is where they can really turn the game around. But as it stands now, I think DMT just have a slightly better control of the map. They don't really show it in the goal difference, but DMT, I think, in a more commanding position.
Yeah, I think that, look, the net worth obviously is not everything, especially in the 3-minute mark, 40-second mark at this point. But Dominator, the way that they're moving across the map, right? Yes, there's going to be some gaps, and it looks like Vitality are looking to do that, taking advantage of that as they look to steal a peasant here.
I think this is a little bit of indecisiveness coming out from Vitality. They were looking to try and go on a quick lead, but now this opens up some space at the bottom side, and a lot of pressure is being put there.
Yeah, and look, the 4-minute mark, this is the Tyrant. This is going to be the big one. I mean, there was no kills as of now, but there have been spacing and zoning them away. 19 is just over the edge, and they do see that TNX has started this.
And do not be fooled. TNX will dive into a target here if they open up that opportunity. But they get the Tyrant of the first Tyrant of the game, and DMT, comfortable control.
Yeah, comfortable control. No real contest in that sense, but Dominator Esports understanding that, hey, any sort of, the big neutral, the first big one of the day, pretty huge for them, right? They want to get this net worth really starting to snowball.
Yeah, and in terms of like jungle pacing, I think ZanQ is just a tad bit slower than TNX, and that tad bit cost him half a level.
Yeah, but I mean, net worth, he's a 500 gold up, right? And this is the power of that pay. He needs to be sticking with 19, ensuring that they just like steal as much as possible and make life a little uncomfortable for Dominator.
Okay, this is the opening they're looking for. If they can get the T1, this would be great, but the support does come in. Instant response from Jill to help out the team. This is what we're looking for, good teamwork.
Yeah, don't give up anything, especially for free, right? If you're able to make the teleport, you're going to be there. You're going to just kind of scare them away. Team Vitality did not want to push that initiative. They backed off, and now it looks like they're going to play a little bit of a longer game. Just stick around in that lane as TNX is going to take a little bit of damage. Looks like he's going to go for the Tremor Smash. That was going to be a bit of a miss.
Okay, so they do a delay wave play on the side of DMT, but it all's good for them because at this point, I think the map is working for them. But right as I say that, they take the T1.
Yeah, look at the Azure Golem just get stolen right under, or TNX picks that one up on his way out. But Ahem taking the tower, that's going to be a huge win for them. Look, these teams trading blow for blow. There's a lot of familiarity even with these teams today.
Okay, but the pacing is so much faster, right? This was not the pace we had in the first series of the game. This time, the IKL specialists, they are coming in hard, and we're looking for a big stun and nice setup. So TNXT will be looking for the ideal target. He doesn't want to catch out ZanQ. He wants to catch out Zan, or maybe even Neo, to stop that healing factor coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the fact that, like, there's pace, right? And, I mean, is Indonesia just meta tends to be a little bit more aggressive? Like, why is it so different from the first series of the day?
They are very aggressive. They're very fast as well. But the thing that is so special about IKL is the fact that they know when the winning moments are. So when IKL teams fight, you know they see an opening. It's whether they can finish the job.
So, Kindofu, you're saying that the HOK BR teams don't know win conditions?
I don't remember being in the kitchen and smelling some gas. At this point, no, that's not my point. I'm talking about, IKL teams, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they know what they're doing, of course, in this case. But again, look, both of these teams, not a single kill. It's 7 minutes in, a little bit different, very cagey. Nobody wants to give up anything at this stage. I think it's going to be key for team vitality because, again, it's being aggressive. ZonQ really needs to just get that farm going.
But this is what I like, right? So for players that are new to HOK, not every fight needs to be taken, like, because there are better resources to acquire. There's better timings to hit. But here we go.
Oh, he just barely gets out. These last not going to connect. TNX takes some damage. He's going to be chased on. Zonk looking for his braze on the prowl. Wants to go in. Tulsa gets the knockback onto him. Gets a little serious. And there's your first blood. And Guyu down for the count.
And this is why it's so important to be clinical, right? So they tried on the side of DMT. Did not manage to make it work and tough.
Oh, nice cannon blast on it too. The unending sorrow of the box. He tried to flash it forward, but Neil gets on out of this one. And now the burst ram TNX is getting bounced around like a pinball. And ZonQ will find him.
Oh, Vitality coming in strong. They're punishing the mistakes of DMT.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're making them pay at this point. Just the team fight has been on point. Like, they're kind of baiting them out. They get a little bit low. The cannon blasts were on point, and that's stunned. But then Dominator, like, actually, they don't really have the damage to follow up. Vitality are able to make them pay.
And this is something about Synergy, right? It feels like the calls are a little bit off on the side of DMT, right? The calls are different from different members.
Okay, well, obviously, it's in a different language, so the calls will be different. Duh.
Okay, but nonetheless, I think it's pretty clear when you should take a fight, when you should not, right? So at this point, TNX, having given away the kills, the gold gap now is 1,000 ahead. And you know what? That gold, that EXP difference that ZonQ with TNX was 1 level ahead. Now ZonQ is 1 level ahead of him.
Yeah, look, we knew that Pace got that early game lead, and it looks like TNX looking to turn this around. The burst ram, but the duel is not enough. ZonQ is going to be killed. Gets it traded away. It's a 1-for-1, and now Guyu on the prowl wants to go. The burst ram locking him down, though, and he's going to pay with his sins, and Zon gets that kill.
Okay, so it's a 2-for-1, jungle for jungle, but Guyu pulling down as a crash dealer is a big win for the side of Team Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, getting that one out, that was actually huge. I think they could have been happy with that 1-for-1 and just kind of ended it on that one, but Guyu decided to go a little bit aggressive, and they're going to continue on, put the aggression on, and not able to pick off 19, just too tanky.
We talked about, hey, is Zhang going to come online? Is he going to perform better? And I think he is really clean with his positioning. And I think that's one of the biggest markers of success for Team Vitality so far. But damage dealt, you can see, look, you can deal a lot of damage, but we need to be efficient. 34,000 in total for Joe.
Oh, him getting on back on this one. I mean, look, the damage was gonna be there. This is a very damaging lineup from Dominated Esports. If they're able to find you out, they haven't really been able to kind of convert that damage into kills as of now, as they only have 1 to their name at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, and we talked about it. This damage, a lineup that they have acquired for themselves, you need to be able to do damage. You're not going to be able to do that with a lack of items.
Yeah, Shadow Tyrant right here going to be started. TNX to spot that out as well. Gerald on the little on the low end. Needs to be careful. The Tyrant will reset. Back into his lair he goes. Dominated Sports want to make Neil pay. He takes a lot of damage, but he's going to be backing off. Has that unending sorrow if they want to pop it, continue on. Tufts tries to get a little serious, but he only gets serious on the minion wave.
Okay, I don't think they know that 19 is inside. 19, oh, I like the patience, but just got found out. Now, 10-minute mark, this is an important marker for both teams because this Tyrant is going to provide so much value in extra damage for team fights.
Yeah, TNX is probably not going to go completely on this one. Wants to low it out. The burst ram onto a couple, and it looks like they're going to be backing off of him. Getting aggressive, finds Neil, the unending sorrow, and not enough damage to kill. Neil sustains that one, and Gerald trying to find this ZonQ, looking for the right target, not able to get the nice little the fireball onto him, but the Tyrant has been picked up already by TNX. Space created.
Did you see what they were doing there, right? Dominator actually forcing out skills from Vitality. They weren't going to commit to the fight. And while you're in that state of limbo, are we fighting? Are we not going to fight? Look, the decision by DMT is TNX is, buy me time. I'm going to get the objective for the team. And right now, even though they've gotten that objective, ZonQ's still at the top of the farm. So he's making things work for
yeah, I mean, you knew he was going to be aggressive. Like, the pay is so good right now because of the fact that he has that mobility, has a lot of damage, so he can farm pretty much wherever he wants. He's going to always have that early game lead. The struggle then is when the mid-game happens, probably like the 16 through 18-minute mark, when he kind of falls off and he tends to be more like a farm laner, and he needs to be more worried about his positioning.
Okay, Neo in the middle.
Oh, they find the unending sorrow. They find Gerald, who has to flash away. The double dash on out. Ahem getting a little bit low, but the burst ram is on point. They're not able to get in the box. But instead, they find Ahem. That's going to be the initial pick, but Zan is going to be traded away. It's a 2-for-1 thus far. They're trying to chase under the tower, and Guyu a little on the low, took some tower shots. Vitality will hold.
So Vitality just seems to be a cleaner team in comparison to DMT. And it feels like DMT, they keep diving, but they're not getting the results that they want. And TNX has died a little too many times.
Yeah, too many times for my comfort as well. I mean, he's a little bit falling behind, but he's trying to make things happen. He hasn't had that mark where he has the items to really just duel to death, like homing missile, just blow somebody up. He hasn't had that moment as of now. He's still a little bit behind.
Yeah, okay, this is why it's so important, right? So for those of you that are new, TNX, he's playing Musashi. That ultimate, it makes people unable to heal. So you can see he's going in, but he's going in a 3v1 situation.
Yeah, not the greatest of targets. I mean, going in for this, I mean, it's especially like in that position, you got to be super careful. You got to stay alive more than anything else. But you're just seeing some of the damage that Ahem is starting to do, and like looks like they try to knock him around. Tough though, will dash over.
At this point, DMT, they need to just burn out skills coming out from Vitality. That will be the big win condition. But the problem here, 19 as a new player, he's doing so well coming in.
Yeah, and looking at this game, I mean, it's a 6-2 lead in favor of Team Vitality. I mean, you predicted that, you know, Dominate Esports is going to win 2-0, and it's because of your prediction that it looks like Team Vitality were like, I took that personally.
Are you sure I voted 2-0 to DMT? But in any case, at this point, this is the point marker. TNX.
Oh, Trevor smashed on it too, and TNX squashed like a bug. He goes. The box is not going to be enough. They find Zan, but Guyu trying to flash away. He's going to be picked off as well, and 3 members down from Dominated Esports, and Team Vitality next level right now.
You can win a 1v1, but this is a team game. You have to win the team fights, and the better team always wins. Right now, the damage has been done. T2 on the top for free. Team Vitality, the opening is available. Can they take the T3 on the top?
Yeah, you're like, oh, Dominated Esports. You've got, oh, he gets a little bit serious and fights Gerald. They took the dive, and the Hem get gone on as well. And they get the secondary pick, and 19 will stay alive. They take the top T3, and Team Vitality will march it down. TNX is trying to keep him alive with a duel to the death, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And Team Vitality will strike first.
14 minutes. This is one very quick game coming from Team Vitality. And was this the result that we expected? I don't know. But ZanQ, this game, it was not about him. For the first time, ZanQ is not the core member here. It really was a team effort coming from Team Vitality to take this win against Dominator Esports.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it as being a team building, and don't get me wrong, it was, but I'm still not going to undersell what ZanQ was doing. Like the fact that he had that net worth, he had all that damage, they got that one little pick off, and if you're looking at the lineup, you know, the lineup of Dominators, which we're talking about the damage, but they're all glass cannons, right? That damage from ZanQ was enough to just burst them up.
It was an amazing performance from both teams, man. Like when we need to start thinking about this, we all thought that the VP had gone for Dominator. We thought that they had the better picks. We thought that they had the meta. But at the end of the day, Vitality just proved us all wrong. All of us wrong because they came in and dealt with anything that was in front of them.
Okay, so there are 2 members on the side of Team Vitality I want you to keep your eyes on, and that's going to be Tufts as well as 19. The 2 of them have played a very significant role. Number 1, 19 keeps disrupting the flow of movements on the side of DMT. He's pushing people away, and Tufts is catching them and pulling them underwater.
Yeah, I mean, just like the sustain, the team fight, and the fact that their ability to just go aggressive and turn it on. Ahem is like, oh, I thought I was safe, I thought I was in my base, but no, just like that, game over.
Yeah, it's a quick, decisive move, and you take a look at the movement of Team Vitality. They move as a group, right? Like even if the fight is split, there is never one lone member on the side of Vitality. They're always buddied up with somebody.
Yeah, and this is why they were able to pull that one out. I mean, that support, understanding that it's like, hey, if one of those guys jump on you, like the Arlie, and then they're like, we actually have 2 or 3 members, we can deal with you, and it's scary for them to make those jumps in.
When you start thinking about the game, like we thought there was going to be a lot of fighting first, and we were proved wrong because it was more about the jungle path.
True.
It was more about like what the pace of the junglers is going to be. They had to start just different. Musashi on one side, Pei on the other side. I counted that at the 8 minutes mark, there was already a 1,000 gold difference between Pei and Musashi. A 1,000 gold is already half of a full item, and that's already a very big advantage. And at the 14 minutes, right before the last push, Pei was fully stacked. That difference in those first minutes of the game snowballed all the way until that last push of Team Vitality.
He provided them a doorway because if you remember at the start of the game, Tubbs was not having a good time in lane. He was losing gold as well. But the fact that, look, ZenQ had this goldie, he was able to put pressure onto the lineup on the side of Dominator. He provided space. And then Tubbs at 19 just came back from behind. And it was story told for the side of Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it goes back to that one time that TNX decided to dive 1 versus 3, right?
Yes.
He needs to just farm. He needs that space. Like, he's like that farmlander, like the carry at the end of the day. You cannot be throwing away any sort of time in, like, the net worth to anybody at that point. You need to farm yourself and literally stay off the map. He was a little impatient, and we've kind of seen this from TNX time and time again, where he tends to be overly aggressive at times.
The X factor right over there, as Kintofu just mentioned it, right? When you analyze the stats, when you analyze the numbers, Dominator Esports dealt so much more damage in the first 8 minutes of the game, but none of that damage was fatal. And that is the issue, man. Like, when you come in and then you're able to just deal damage, but you're not able just to finish it. You cannot finish off your opponent. Your opponent is going to turn back and is going to get the kills. And it's only those kills that allow you the gold to start snowballing. And I think that Dominator Esports wanted to just bring the fight. They wanted to deal damage. They were unable to get the kill. Was that the moment that turned things around, Kintofu, or was there any other moment that you want to spotlight?
I think it was. Because at the end of the day, look, if you want to go fast, you tend to go alone, right? But if you want to go far, you have to have your team with you. And I think TNX, we can agree that he was a little bit complacent in the fact that, look, he was looking to rush the pace, but the team couldn't keep up. They couldn't match the pacing that he was trying to go for his ultimates. Landing them, sure, but no one's there to back him up. But on the other side, Team Vitality, one person gets caught, everyone comes and supports that guy.
True.
Yeah, and I think the TNX is more of like the playstyle thing. Let Gerald kind of go in first with the Mai, you know, just soften them up a little bit and then just go in for that final blow with the Duel of the Death. Like, you kind of, you know, everybody's on the same page at this point. And it seemed like everybody's like playing 1 versus, you know, 5, so to speak. It didn't seem like everybody was on that same page. You were talking about earlier in the pregame about communication. It seemed like communication was lacking in that one.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, of course, the Pei and the Musashi, everyone got the spotlight on the junglers. 19 on that game. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the roamers, man. Like, it was because of the vision. It was because 19 was able to slow down Musashi just a tiny little bit. It's not even just a matter of getting the kill. It's not even a matter of just having the spotlight on you. It's just a matter of being able to do the dirty work that the team needs for the team to get that little advantage.
And this is where the difficulty comes in, because Lianpo is a very, very tanky hero. And when you pick heroes like the Arlie, the Mai, it spells out, it shouts out burst.
Yes.
But what happens when you can't get the burst?
You cannot burst down Alien Paw, man. That can't be done. It cannot be done in the early stages of the game, man. It cannot be done. And 19 just took that advantage and they just put it not as his own, but made that a whole team advantage.
Yeah, and also, you know, 19, just this multi-man stuns. His burst rams was hitting 2 people consistently. He was having some great tremor smashes and staying alive. That's the biggest thing. It's like, yeah, you take a lot of shots, but not giving up any kills, that's next level.
Exactly. And I think they really knew what the limits were. And I think this is the mark. And maybe we're starting to see a new monster team being formed because they knew the limits and they pushed the limits of Dominator very far to the point where they couldn't keep up.
All right. It is a world competition, right? It's the KWC 2025. We've got teams from all different regions. We have players from all around the world, different styles, different ways of understanding the meta. We had HOK PR champion and runner-up in the first game, and right now we got the IKL second and third place coming in. What were the main difference in terms of understanding the game that you guys could point out for the people that are watching here at home?
You want to take this?
Okay, sure. So let's talk about the first minute. If you take a look at the map itself, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that you can do as a clash laner is to be able to secure your own top side camp.
Yes.
And this is why DMT dominated the first few minutes. They were immediately aggressive in that particular portion because that is something that is fixed. And if you don't have access to that and you lose the laning phase, you lose your minions as well, you're instantly at a level deficit, you're instantly at a gold deficit as well. And that's also why DMT actually made the wave to go straight for that space, right? Because not only do you get extra gold, extra EXP, you also have the ability to move across the map. And at that point, DMT, I felt like they were doing good rotation, good pacing, but then came the communication issues and decision making as a team.
Would you say that that's a very big difference between the game between the IKL teams and the game between the HOK BR teams, though?
I think it's pretty similar because, look, both teams, if we compare, let's take a look at Team Vitality and Loops. They are placed in a position where it's not looking good. It really isn't looking good.
Yeah.
But then you go and identify, okay, look, this is a lost cause, never mind. What other options can we explore? And that's where they really formed up that comeback factor. And so, yeah, it's the same story told in a different style.
Okay.
I mean,
Holler?
for me, it's kind of adding on. I think the biggest word that you used was pace. You said it in the game as well. I think that if you're seeing somebody like a Pei, and this is why we see the assassin style in like the MKL, WKS, KME, KMOS. Like this is a style that's been very aggressive and been able to invade because you have that mobility to be where you shouldn't be at times, and you can catch people out, and then they start playing a little bit scared. What we saw in HOK BR was a more traditional style, definitely more last year. Not to say that they're a little outdated, but it just seemed like the heroes that they picked were a little bit slow to the meta. The faster pace is where we are today.
Of course, I do agree on the fact that the meta right now is just calls for a faster pace. Just the decisions made in the first 4 minutes just define if this is going to be a 10 minutes match or if this is going to push all the way until the 20 minutes. The teams need to adapt to that. I'm not saying that one style is better than the other. I'm just saying that we're so lucky right now to be able to see teams from all over the world showing to us the different styles and their different understandings. Which understanding is going to be better, we cannot say right now. 2 weeks from now, when the champion is going to be crowned, then that's going to be the full truth.
Exactly, and I think, you know, besides learning a meta, it's also about being a player, you have to understand your own emotions, right? It's very stressful to play on the Gorge, and I think as long as you can keep yourself calm and composed and have proper communication, you have a good chance of winning. So right now, I think for DMT, then calm their nerves. Look, it's just one loss, it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares about one loss if you're going to be the champions of the entire thing, right?
Of course, we have seen teams that they go to the lower bracket and then just make it all the way to become the champions of their own regions and their own tournaments, right?
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that. That is the journey nobody wants to go on, right? That's a tough one. I want to be on the winning bracket and just go in, cruise control to 2-0 victory in the groups. I think that's going to be key. Dominating esports, though, again, we're talking about that this is just one game. They haven't lost the series here. But, man, that is a little bit of a shakeup, right? I think that is going to, you know, they're going to come like much stronger and see how they bounce back in game 2 is going to be key. Because Dominating esports probably thought they were going to cruise through this series.
But it felt like Vitality, that wasn't even the strongest versions of themselves.
Okay.
And now they're in a position where they have taken down the second seed of IKL. Wouldn't you, as a third place IKL contender, kind of feel like, hey, this is
moral boost, man. It's a total moral boost. I would be right now elated if I were to be able to take that first victory. For sure, right now, the Team Vitality players are like in a really good place. Like right now, everyone just believes that they can just take this. Like they came in risking everything. There's nothing to save here. Just go on with everything you got. They went there, they took the first victory, they just need one more and they're going to be in the upper bracket. One extra life in there.
I mean, it'd be amazing if they could do this, right? I think Team Vitality feel great about game 1, but to close it out, that's where true champions are, right?
Of course.
Closing out series, it's super important, and you know, Team Vitality up to the task. I think they are. They've shown that the skills are definitely available. This is a very strong team, and they can catch you off guard, even if you're a powerhouse like Dominator Esports.
I completely agree on that, man. Dominator Esports is not going to make them easy. It's not going to make them easy for them because I'm telling you, they want to turn things around. They want to do the same as Alpha 7. Alpha 7 just came in, they lost the first game, and then they want to. Can Dominator Esports do the same?
Big questions to be answered here, and we will have it answered, right? Because at this point, we should be heading into the bans and picks. And look, I'm not sure that you guys feel it, but
Yeah.
I kind of feel the energy coming from Vitality as one that is a little bit more domineering at this point. I feel like they have the potential to take this series by storm and maybe end it in a 2-0.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing was that the way that they did that series, right? They were consistently, definitely in the lead, and they were able to just kind of close it out when they had that advantage, pushing the initiative when they needed to, won those great team fights, and closed out the game. If we see that, that's a well-coordinated team, and props to the coach for putting them in a situation where they understand how to close out the game. The win conditions is definitely understood by this team.
I think it would be so funny if Dominator comes up with another godlike draft and then they lose again. You know, I legitimately was super excited about their draft. When it first showed up on screen, I was like, this is Dominator's game. But
Yes.
the way that Team Vitality played that to their strengths, whew.
I mean, you talk about like a godlike draft, but man, gods don't look like that. Like they really struggled. They were behind. They really didn't have the greatest of games. But Dominator Sports starting off strong. They're gonna go with a Dharma to kind of set things up. Let Guyu work.
Yeah, and straight away, right? Look, okay, you give away the RD and the Mind game number 1, and this time Dominator, they don't want to make the mistake, right? So they ban it out. But now there's new options to explore. Dolia, the refresher, right? Able to give you your ultimate once again, and they pick up the Lung as well. We have seen how well Lung can play if you give him the space and freedom of time.
Yeah.
So Team Vitality, decent draft.
I love how Dolia is just a flexible pick, man. Like you can just play that Dolia with mostly anything in the whole band and pick. Like any other hero just paired up with that Dolia is always going to be a great pick.
Yeah, like look, you can actually pair with the Zhang Fei double shields. No, don't do that, please.
Yeah, that would be terrible going in with it. But look, this is a very beefy lineup from Dominating Sports. They're very team fight heavy. And again, kind of off the back of what TNX wants to do, which is greenlight. He wants to just go, 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 right? And everybody else is kind of like on that same page. The synergy is there. They want a team fight and just be in your face and have those combos work.
Okay, but Team Vitality, they respond with the Yixing. And look, you can be fast, but if you're caught in a box, how far can you
There's
run?
nowhere to run, man. There's nowhere to run, so you better run away before that box falls down on your face.
Exactly.
Well, I've never been locked in a box, so I don't really know how to answer that. But I see it, at least in Honor of Kings, the board can really lock things down. I mean, you could be a tough time, right? And this is a great counter pick to the Ogren, who wants to be in front, and he wants to be using that path of passing to his advantage.
Okay, but there is a potential for a refresh of that, the world's my ball, right? Which is the ultimate of Yixing. So we've already seen in the first series how productive and a good Yixing play can be. Right now, I'm looking for that farm laner, Dominator Esports. What do they have on the cards for us?
I mean, there's still a lot of options, right? You need to figure out a way. Like, you're a Yixing player, you tell me, what does he struggle against in terms of that laning?
Long range, right? This is one of the reasons why Nuwa is actually banned out as well. Gan and Mo, sorry, not Nuwa, but Gan and Mo. Simply because short burst of damage is very hard to play against as a Yixing player. You need some time to be able to land on your skills, get your control, and instant burst heroes, not fun to play against as a Yixing player.
Yeah, but if you're looking at the Team Vitality lineup, very squishy, almost the complete opposite of the Dominating Esports lineup, which is kind of like, dare I say, like a caveman draft, where they just like run at you with clubs and just try to kill you down. But looks like the Jing picked up by Team Vitality. Let Zanq work, man.
Yep, this guy, okay, so let me give you some information. If you're looking to learn Jing, Zanq is one of those players where you need to keep your eyes on him.
Yes.
He is one of the best Jings in the global server.
Absolutely insane, right? But look, I always want to preface this is like, hey, if you're gonna learn Jing, don't play your rank games with it. Give your team a chance because it is mechanically difficult. Play some normal games, get it into please. Get a feel for the hero before you risk any sort of rank points.
I would say the opposite, like, you know, put yourself in the most difficult position.
Please no.
You learn by experience. But in any case, wow, we have the Fang being considered here. Actually locked in as well. Now, Fang, I like this farm laner because, number one, he actually does extra damage against monsters. And so, which means that he's able to kind of steal camps away really quickly on the side of Dominator Esports. At the same time, his second skill, called the Will Away, it's an invulnerable move, allowing you to dodge projectiles or anything of that nature, and allows you to reset into very dangerous positions against Team Vitality.
Of course, and in the very, very close fights for resources, in the very close fights for overlords and for tyrants, having that Fang over there might be the extra help that you need On the other side, Team Vitality, the last pick is going to be Liu Bang. I am loving that Team Vitality pick, man.
Yep, the pacing of the game actually is matched up by both teams because,
Of course.
okay, Team Vitality, let's explain about how they're going to play this game. This is a very split push composition coming in from Team Vitality, right? Because the Liu Bang, he's going to be split pushing because he has instant access into his teammates. All he has to do is to use his ultimate, the Battlefield Command. He's able to teleport, not just teleport, when he's teleporting onto you, you're getting healed up, you have more health, baby.
Yes.
And so that is a strategy that they're going to play the map more in this game for Team Vitality.
Let's wait and see what's going to happen. This is going to be game 2. DMT is going to be on the blue side. Vitality on the other side is going to take the red. If they take the victory, that's going to be it. They're going to move forward. And for DMT, they need to take the dub if they want to force it to game 3. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, let's go. Here we go. I mean, this is a moment where I'm looking at this lineup, the Dominator lineup, and I'm just like, what are the answers for the ZonQ Jing? Like, do they have the lockdown? He's going to be having a field day if he's able to kind of just, move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He's going to have a great time, and he's going to be really tough to lock down.
Especially when L on this Shanfei and Gui on this Dharma don't have the ultimates. That's like the dream for ZonQ.
I mean, if he's able to bait it out and just kind of make things a little uncomfortable, and he does have that, dare I say, protective shield by Tufts jumping in at a moment's notice, you have that potential of just kind of, playing a little bit more aggressive than you normally would on this Jing.
Okay, now I want to explain something to the newer players here. There is a lane swap coming in from the side of Vitality. So Zen actually goes to the Clash lane and has a favorable matchup against Gui. This is going to allow him to snowball a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's going to have a much better time. I mean, it's just like the range versus melee, matchup, right? You're always going to have a good time. But again, you're kind of suffering in the bottom lane, especially since Tufts has made that rotation, and he needs to deal with a Hem there.
Yeah, but Tufts, he has his Dominator shield, right? So he's able to sustain a little bit of blood damage available by a Hem. So if he plays his cards right, he doesn't get punished as hard. So I think Vitality, very good planning so far.
Yeah. I mean, and also he can just jump in. The Battlefield Command is going to be super key when those fights start to happen. He just needs to kind of hold the line, right? He doesn't need to let the tower take any damage. Just stay alive more than anything else.
Exactly. And Neo, I think for now, doing an okay job, right? Really losing out in terms of the EXP against Joe. But I think at this point, it's okay, right? The win condition coming from Vitality, one of the main members is Zen. You want to slow this dragon to acquire gold. That's the dragon's favorite thing.
Okay, I didn't. Well, yeah. I mean, if we're going back to like the Hobbit and things like that, the dragon definitely needs to hoard the gold. Okay, all right. I see what the logic is. But yeah, it's going to be super important. I mean, Zan, like having that level advantage, having that range, it's going to make life difficult for Guyu, especially in the top lane, who's kind of been zoned away, dare I say. But Zan in 19, like this combination, we're going to see way more of it in the KWC.
For sure. I really like this. It's a stock standard combination you can explore as well, right? The refresh into Zan's ultimate, taking the dragon form and flying to the skies. It gives you a lot of freedom to do a lot more risky things, which could turn the tides of battle.
Yeah. I mean, the potential for burst. We've seen it already, right? Check out the highlights of the first series of the day. We've already seen like CR7 make some serious moves, Vento as well. The potential is definitely there. Just a really strong farm laner at the end of the day.
Yeah, so they wanted to share the EXP between Gui and TNX. That's the reason why they actually delayed the taking of the space right here. So DMT doing little nuances across the map to make sure they're keeping pace with the side of Vitality.
Yeah, and Zonk just like kind of stealing some boars on his way out, smites it for good measure. Just taking things away. Anything that you can do to kind of take away from Dominator, especially TNX, is going to be key. He's back in his own jungle now, and it looks like, yeah.
Yep, 3.1. Isn't this the same story as just now?
Yeah. I mean, this is what you wanted to do, right? Like, let ZonQ do his thing. Getting in that farm, funneling as much as possible, definitely going to be key.
Yep, and ZonQ, what he offers as a Jing is instant backline access, and that's going to be super dangerous for the side of DMT.
Yeah, but look at this Azure Golem. It's about to be contested. The Tyrant is here as well. 19 looking to just provide that vision. It's already looking to get bursted down. DNX is looking to take this. He smites it for good measure. And here comes Guyu, gets the truth onto 19, pushes him back in a bad spot, and he will be executed, giving up first blood to TNX. But the fight isn't over. They've gotten to him as well. The board is going to be set up. They're trying to just mirror image through his way out of this. But TNX is so low, and he's not able to get the pick off. Do they go for the infinite fastness? No, he goes in reverse.
Okay, but this is a win for the side of Vitality. Nonetheless, you trade a roll for a farm lane. This is a bad trade for DMT.
Yeah, not great at this point. L's just trying to contest at this point. He does have Smite, though, and he did steal that and saved it.
Okay, so he does save the team at this point. Is it a win? Yes, it is. Because yes, even though TNX doesn't get that Crimson buff, you still delay the growth of ZQ.
Yeah, anything that you can do at this point, I think it's going to be key for them, right? But look, the jungle matchup is usually where you want to be in terms of like how the games are going to go. ZQ has kind of got a slight edge at this point, but you know, it's still anybody's game, especially since TNX, he's getting a lot of that farm in the mid lane.
I mean, you were asking, right? So who's going to be able to handle ZQ? And that's the question that has yet to be answered, because so far ahead, I think based on what's happening now, he's at total risk.
Yeah, so it's kind of coming back to Dominator Esports being a little bit more aggressive. If they're able to kind of, you know, take away some of the map and he's not able to farm, then ZQ will never really hit that critical mass, right? So they want to be aggressive, they want to push things out, because once ZQ gets those items, he's going to be impossible to lock down.
Exactly.
And here's the board. The Azure Golem about to be taken away. TNX is looking to go for this one. L, Leaping Sabers back to safety. And Dominator Esports take that and they get on out.
Okay, so a small play by the side of DMT. Didn't take too much risk, but
he's got the truth. The formlessness onto Tufts, doing a little bit of damage. He's just going to tank that. He's going to shake that one off. I mean, it's clash lane on clash lane. It's like a pillow fight in the top lane, no?
Exactly, right? These are very soft pillows at this point. Nobody really truly gets hurt. Yeah, you might get like a slap in the face, but it's fine. But in terms of EXP advantage, Gui definitely has an EXP lead against Tufts, which could prove to be a problem because Gui, level 9, his target actually isn't Tufts. It's Zen and 19.
Yeah, Guyu is just looking for anyone that's squishy, and anyone not named Tufts, to be honest, right? Everybody's squishy on that lineup. Tufts, on the other hand, though, again, not the end of the world. He just needs to stay alive. He will split push and just make things a little bit, you know, uncomfortable for Dominator Esports. But speaking about being uncomfortable, Dominator Esports take the top T1.
Okay, this is one of the things that you will learn about the Fang pick. Fang is one of the fastest tower takers in the game as well, right? So with the first skill, the target sighted, 4 hits, you get that burst potential that you absolutely love as a farm laner.
Yeah, you're going to do a lot of damage. I mean, he's been kind of on point in that sense. Just putting the pressure on. He's been keeping up in terms of farm pace with Zan, you know, which it's not the easiest things to do, but Gerald eating a flaming palm for his troubles, taking a lot of damage.
I like it. Joe understands, hey, let's not use our skills preemptively, right? Save that ultimate for better use.
Yeah, look at TNX looking to go aggressive. The board is going to be set up here. They're trying to at least take this away. Gets stolen away. TNX picking that up for good measure.
They gave it away for free, though.
Yeah, I mean, ZQ was really not in position to contest. He didn't seem to really want this one. But I think that blue buff is key for the Jing, especially in terms of that farm.
Yeah, because you need that mirror domain.
Oh, L, Unbridled Outburst. It connects, and he's going to go for the Stampede onto Zan. The mirror domain, he's trying to zig in, zig out to TNX. Just barely staying on. He somehow survives. He's flipping away. ZQ was thinking about going in, but he gets killed. Mirror domain finds the pickoff, and it looks like a bit of a disaster for Vitality.
This is the DMT we were waiting for. This is the TNX we wanted, right? Team play, soaking up the damage so that the rest of the members of DMT are able to do their job. And Gui, this game, matching pace, actually catching New out as well. Look at the damage, all mostly dealt by Vitality, but it's DMT who take the win.
Yeah, they're going to take that one. I mean, it was kind of baited out by TNX. That auger, just the amount of sustain, and it was just like juicy enough of a target for Team Vitality to really push the initiative. ZQ probably should have played a little bit safer, but again, he thought he was safe for that mirror domain. But when your shade is very obvious as of where it's going to be, it made it for easy pickings for Dominator.
Yeah, and right now, L is cosplaying as a jungler with that smite as well, securing that second objective for himself, a second tyrant for Dominator.
Okay, I was actually looking. Is he actually, I have to turn around and see if L was actually wearing anything different. No, he's not physically cosplaying. He's cosplaying in the game. It took me a second, but now we're here.
All right, and once again, he's going to try and cosplay for even more. The Azure Golem is at risk on the side of Team Vitality, and it looks like it will not be able to get it.
Yeah, no chance at this point. And this is where things get a little bit rough. Team Vitality being aggressive. And again, TNX is really not the guy you want to be letting to get all that farm because he's going to be a bit of a raid boss. And yeah, ZQ is a lot of damage, but can you deal with TNX? He's going to go go for the mirror domain, finds Gerald, who flashes, tries to get back, but the unbridled outburst keeping him alive. And now the conductor of Souls, TNX, is actually looking at turn this. Neil gets stampeded on, he gets seriously for his troubles, and now Tufts on the run. Is he able to get to safety? Has the shields, and only one member down, but they lose the mid T1.
And they took the fight at the absolute worst possible moment because look, the T2 at the bottom is also being pressured. This is going to open up a ham, and this is the first potential. Easy T2 for the side of DMT. And look, I think Zan was just a little bit too late. Comms issue for DMT game number 1. Now comms issue for Vitality in game number 2.
Yeah, struggling at this, but look at the damage taken here from Dominator Esports. Both of them, two of them taking so much L and TNX. Tyrant being picked up essentially for free. Team Vitality on the defenses, down about 4K. This is going to be a tough one to come back from.
Yep, and look, T3 is now open for the taking on the side of Team Vitality. Now, Shadow Tyrant secured by Genex, as you already mentioned. This is extra extra damage and movement speeds as well. So, look, TNX has already been hard to catch. He's going to be even harder to catch at this point.
I mean, not only is he hard to catch, but he just can sustain so much damage. He was top 2 in terms of damage taken, and like Team Vitality don't really have the option and the burst to be able to deal him. Zan has not hit that critical mass. He's actually losing in terms of the lane. They find Zan Q, who has to just back away, and again another blue buff taken away. Infinite fastness. Zan will get back to safety. He flies on out of this one, but Team Vitality on the defensive, dominating esports, exerting that dominance.
We were asking the wrong questions. It's not about how do we catch ZanQ, it's who's going to survive besides ZanQ.
I mean, look at this. The umbrella outburst onto 2, knocking them away, but that space created. The mid T2 already taken off here. Dominate esports doing such a great job as they've grown this lead to about 5.5.
Yeah, they're going to try and make amends here. It is going to be a T1 taken on the bottom side thanks to the efforts of Tufts for the side of Vitality. But it's a very little in comparison to what Dominator have rewarded themselves. It's a completely blue map. And look at the goal chart. Number 1, TNX at 8.8. ZanQ was ahead just now, but now it's TNX game all the way.
Yeah, this is going to be scary, right? It's going to be tough to do. I mean, to deal with TNX, when he hits that, that raid boss, he's going to be so hard to burst down. And we haven't really seen ZanQ just be able to find the backline, find the squishier targets, because look at the Dominator lineup. All of them are kind of beefy boys in that sense.
Yeah, and look, this, okay, he just got it. The Blood Rage is now available. That red item you see on your screen, that is TNX's Blood Rage. It gives him an extra shield.
Yeah, even tougher to deal with, right? And Team Vitality, yeah, you have the control, you have that damage, but getting onto all of them, especially with Dominator, the way that they're able to take some of these team fights, the Umbrella Outburst, you have that Truth from Kuyu, you have a lot of options to deal with the potential jump in from Team Vitality here.
Yeah, your box is not big enough on the side of Team Vitality because DMT, this is a very dominating performance so far. 12.5 minutes in, and the thing is, the way that the draft works for Dominator, the later the game goes, the stronger they get as well.
Yeah, I mean, just a complete bounce back game by Dominator, right? And this is why they were so strong in the IKL, just understanding how to play the map and controlling the tempo of the game. Team Vitality have been just like basically very reactive. They haven't been able to take any of the fights that they want to take.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at the map, right? So Dominator has been dominating the map so far, but now with the fact of the Shadow Overlord as well, the minions have been changed into Shadow Vanguards, and now with the Overlord flying down on the bot side, there is additional damage in that lane if Dominator players fight there.
Yeah, look at how far forward they are. I mean, they're all pushing it out. The Neil's so low. Oh, a couple more shots. He barely gets away. Not enough damage for the kill, but he's going to go back to the fountain and just kind of heal up. But the mid T3 taken down. The bottom is as well.
Yeah, do not show us those gaps because we will tear them open. Dominator take two T3s in a matter of seconds, and Vitality. Is this the end of the game?
I mean, it's looking that way. Team Vitality right now just need to, I mean, I would say slow the game down, but at this point, there's nothing for, Dominator to really slow down on. They don't need to back anything off. It's 13 minutes in. They've just been in full control and just pushing it out. If anything, Tufts need to be looking to split push. He needs to be more aggressive. Give their team at least a little bit of space to breathe.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because at the end of the day, if you're asking for Vitality to push DMT away, DMT is not going to budge. In fact, DMT would say, I would like you to put your hands on me, and I will return a punch.
Okay, all right, putting on the hands on each other and things like that. Okay, I wasn't sure where we were going with this. A little uncomfortable, but okay. Yeah, I think speaking for Dominator Esports, and now they're going to push with the top lane. All three lanes have kind of been in a bad spot. ZonQ is doing what he can in terms of that split push, but he needs to come back for the defense here. They're going to look to go. Neil flashes away the Umbrella Hoppers, pushing them away, but they want the tower, and they do take that. Oh, he sets it up, and 19 is down. The Infinite Fastness is just trying to get back to safety. The knockback, Neil has already been killed. Tufts is getting bounced around yet again. Gets Seer standing for trouble. Zon with a double. The base is wide open. Zon just trying to deal with it, but they don't have minions. So Dominator Esports with only 2 members. Yes, it's a 3-for-3, but your base is in shambles.
Exactly, and you're just delaying the inevitable at this point. Dominator, I don't see how they're going to lose this. Zon here in no man's land.
Yeah, trying to go into the mirror domain, just throwing it back. TNX gets a little bit worried. I mean, with L, you don't really have much, considering the Umbrella Hoppers has been expended as well. ZonQ was looking for the catch, but again, it's kind of like the reversal of fortunes in the sense of like, how are you going to catch Jing? How are you going to catch TNX?
Exactly, and right now with a 7,000 goal lead on the side of DMT, in advantage to them as we hit this late game timing. How is Vitality supposed to survive this? They have no turrets left.
Yeah, no turrets at all. And you know, look, in this pregame going into game 2, I was kind of calling out TNX. He's 3-0-3. I feel like I willed him to a good game this one.
Yeah, exactly. I think the confidence is skyrocketed. They were cheering before this game itself, and they were much louder.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, they knew everything was at stake. They need a wake-up. That was a wake-up call in game 1. They bounced back in game 2, putting the pressure on, and now it's Team Vitality. How do they hold with super elite minions crashing in every single lane, and the Shadow Overlord going to make things even worse for Team Vitality?
I think at this point, we need to take a look at how Neo is going to try and set this up, right? We need that combination of Neo landing the board and Zen coming in earlier in the fight. I feel like Zen has been pretty late in trying to get the damage in onto DMT members, and it's costing them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was going to make some sort of joke that he's a wizard and wizards are never late, but this is not the case in this point because I feel like every single team fight, he's kind of been like, dare I say, like a god in the sense that he's never really there when you need him, and he kind of shows up late, and sometimes it ends up in disappointment.
Yeah, but at this point, here is that final blow. DMT looking to land it.
Oh, the Infinite Fastness just keeping them alive. Here, the super elite minions pushing them back. He does a little bit, but TNX is looking for that target. Tufts is going to be that one. They find a hen. That's a huge win for them, but the base needs to be careful. Kuyu gets killed. Here's the Conductor of Souls. TNX now on the run, trying to retreat. Tufts trying to catch him out, but the path of passing is too much, and the rest of Dominating Esports get on out.
Okay, but this is a much better performance by Vitality. They have managed to catch out Hem and Kuyu, 2 very core members on the side of DMT, and once again, ZonQ does not die. I think ZonQ is responsible for a lot of these big moves for Vitality, and if there's any chance of a comeback, I think it will start from ZonQ here.
Yeah, this is good. Check out this replay.
Yeah, look, the board, it was perfect. It got 3 different members, but it was over diving on the side of DMT that really costed them that final push onto the crystal. I think that was what costed DMT the fight.
Yeah, like the damage being spread around, they weren't able to kill the heroes, which they really needed to have done. But this is an opening for Team Vitality to potentially go in. L has the Umbrella Outburst, so he could go for that one. But TNX always has that smite, and this is going to be a 50-50. You need to be careful with how things kind of go on this one. Gerald gets taking liberties on the side. Here's the Umbrella Outburst. They find him, the Infinite Fastest, and the steal has already been done by TNX, and now it's an all-out rout. Team Vitality just trying to stay alive. 19 doesn't seem like he has much of a chance as TNX, this killer, this monster, has been chasing him down.
Yep, and there's a wave in the middle lane as well. They do get rid of him, but so what? The rest of the members are still marching in strong. ZonQ, for the first time, will be taken down. It's a rampage. And right now, Neo and Zen and 19, the 3 remaining members, what can they do?
Yeah, not much they can do. I mean, look, they're just going to force this one out. 3 members still standing from Team Vitality. And it looks like they're just waiting for that minion wave. And Dominating Esports looking to bounce back and to take game 2 here.
Look, there's no board available at this point as well. They're going to try and push out Zen. He's way out of position. Does have his ultimate though.
Yeah, no, he was looking to just cut the creeps if anything. And now it looks like they've got 19. They get the pick off. They're going to truth him for good measure. Here comes Zon for that potential play. But Sage's Sanctuary is not going to save you as he gets knocked out. No, he gets into the fountain. But they take the base and Dominating Esports take game 2.
All right, asking the right questions here from the side of TNX. Where were you? What are you doing? This is a victory, a tie in the series, 1-1 Dominator Esports.
Yeah, I love the fact that you just heard him, like how ecstatic he was. I mean, this is a TNX game. This is the classic one where he's able to control.
Ariel, sayang ka kagahapon. Sayang kagahapon.
Rushing in and then just to try to find the right moment for the fights. And on the other side, Team Vitality always on the back foot, man, all the time.
All right, I agree with that as well. And I think TNX, the call by the coach was, look, you want to play like that? If you want to keep diving, okay, can you pick the organ? We will play around your risk taking.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the lineup, I mean, Guyu on the Dharma, L on the Zhangfei, it's perfectly what they want, right? Which is just green light, let TNX just go and just, you know, create this havoc.
Yep, exactly. And chaos it was. Dominator, this was a big moment, a big win for them. And you can see the confidence in their eyes. They know it is for the taking, the win in this series I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one, right? The first game at the KWC, that first win feels great. Look at TNX, man. Like, this guy is just just so ecstatic. He shows his emotions on his sleeve. This is a guy that you need to like really build upon in terms of the draft as well as play style.
Dominator Esports is turning things around. And like I was thinking a little bit about that Fang pick, right? Because I know that for a lot of people at home, they're thinking, Fang, not meta. What are they trying to do? Was it a good choice? Because for me, I love Fang, man. Like I'm an OG player of Fang. But the problem in here is that it's true, it is not meta. But with this pick, with all this composition, did it work? Do you think that that was one of the key things for the victory?
For sure. Like you, I like to play Fang as well.
You like playing everything, Kane.
Of course, I like to play off-meta heroes. But in this case, one of the things that Fang has a weakness is either you don't have enough burst or you don't have enough protection. And there was plenty of protection because it was not just defense, it was offense as well. Gui on the Dharma was able to catch quite a few people here. One in the base of Vitality. Oh, that one hit a sweet spot for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. The way that they were playing around, just letting a Hem kind of split push and creating that space and taking free towers, and then that just kind of expands their lead quite a bit. They do a great job of that. It's just like a distracting more than anything else, and a Hem has his way of getting on out.
Okay, he did die a couple of times, but please, once again, do not take my advice. KDA is not important to me, right? I think a win is a win. As long as you get your job done, you get the turrets, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, like for me, at the end of the day, it just comes down to who takes the dub. And for you to be able to make it to the crystal of your opponents, you need to destroy the turrets. This is a turret-destroying game. It is not a killing game. We're going to talk a little bit more about all of this. We're going to try to analyze the strategies for this game 3 that is going to decide who moves to the upper bracket, who goes to the lower bracket. But at the end of the day, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back.